Wario. So Wario was introduced in Super Mario Land 2 and soon took over the entire series and turned it into Wario Land. I think that that's honestly a hilarious thing that happened. And you know, Wario World also exists as a game. I don't think there's been a Wario World in like 100 years, but hey, Wario World exists. But do you know what the best Wario game actually is? WarioWare. The longest running and, in my personal opinion, best Wario game. I love WarioWare. WarioWare is great. I also love Wario. Wario is one of my favorite Nintendo characters of all time. One day, I will cosplay as Wario. That is how much I like Wario. So I missed Mario Day, so that's why I am making May the official month of Wario. And you want to know why? I'm gonna explain why May is Wario month, right? May is spelled M-A-Y, correct? But if you turn the M upside down, you get Way. And if you throw the Y into the dumpster, you get Wa. And Wa is the first two letters of Wario. You see where I'm going? So if you add the R-I-O at the ending of the Wa, you get Wario. So May is Wario month, guys. It's Way. Way is Wario. And to add even more proof to my theory that May is Wario month, you know, Way, it is that in America, WarioWare Inc. Mega Micro Games released on May 26th. May is Wario month, guys. So let's celebrate what little left of Wario month with me talking about WarioWare. So, we're gonna talk about the absolute first WarioWare, the one that started the longest running Wario game series, okay? WarioWare Inc. Mega Micro Games. This game was released in 2003 on multiple different dates depending on the goddamn country, apparently. And here in America, it was released on May 26th, so, you know, Wario, guys. Wario. So, WarioWare as a series is a game based around micro games, not mini games.
Micro games.
You have about 10 seconds to beat each mini game, sometimes less once, you know, they speed up, but that's the general gist. You gotta beat micro game a certain amount for each character level tier, and then you go back to Wario, and then you beat the game. You know, that's just how WarioWare works. And I want to talk about the first WarioWare game because I feel like not enough people talk about this game. I didn't even really know much about it when I played WarioWare Smooth Moves, but now I do, so I must talk about WarioWare Inc. Mega Micro Games. Let's get on to the actual micro games and story of WarioWare Inc. Mega Micro Games. Game starts out with a cutscene for a different game. There's this little red bird. His name's like Pyro. I don't know how to pronounce its name, but it's this thing. The game was doing great and making a lot of money, so Wario was like, yeah, bet, let's go. And so he went to go buy a computer, came back, and he decided to start making the mini games. I'm correct. He hires a bunch of the characters, aka all his friends, quote unquote, to help him make a bunch of mini games for this. So Wario's official cutscene for the actual start of game is him jumping on a trampoline and then he jumps into a boombox, starting the actual game. So the controls of every single minigame in this game, some are slightly different depending on what they're using, is a directional pad, you know, D-pad. Dang, I can't believe I called it by its government name. That's crazy. And the A button. That's like the entire control. Simple. A baby can do it. Honestly, a snail could do it. So it should be fine. Wario's minigames are themed after himself because, of course, it's themed after the titular character of the game, Mr. Wario. And they're all strange because that's just WarioWare and I love it. You have 10 seconds to beat the micro game to move on to the next one. Each one you'll lose a life since you only have 4 lives per section, or you're gonna have to redo the entire thing. So if you suck like I do sometimes, you're gonna have to restart. But after you get through it, every couple of mini games it speeds up, so that makes it worse on anyone who doesn't know what they're doing. And once you get to the ending, you get to the 10th mini game, you get the boss battle. For Wario in this game, it's the Spar one. I don't actually know the names of these, but he's punching a ball on a chain, and once you beat that, you move on to the next character after getting this little end screen card. After Wario, you get Jimmy T, who is the next character in the section, and his first cutscene starts out with him walking. You get this hilarious picture. It reminds me of JoJo memes. That's all I can say. That's what this looks like. He's walking to Club Sugar, and then you get him literally just dancing. That's it. There's no other context. It's just him dancing, and then you get onto the micro games. His micro games are based off of sports. That's the best way I can explain it. They're like sport themed mostly, and they can be fine, or they can be. And I really do suck at these for some reason. Like, I failed so many goddamn interesting times. I don't know if I'm gonna end up putting some of that in the video. I just like to say that, yeah, no, I'm actually pretty decent at WarioWare-like games, but I cannot stand Jimmy T. This one took 80 years for me to finish. Like, it literally made me want to punch my TV screen in. So, you know, that's fun. But, his are just like all the other mini games, you know, you use the D-pad and the A button. That's the entire controls. I'm probably not gonna mention again. He has a total of 15 mini games. You have to do 14, and then the last stage is the boss stage. And the boss stage is Punch-Out. I believe it's Punch-Out. I'm pretty sure it's based off of Punch-Out. It looks like Punch-Out. That's what it looks like to me. But I'm pretty sure it's based off of Punch-Out, and you have to duck away from this dude and then punch him after he tries to punch you. And that's literally how you beat it. Once you beat it, you get the last cutscene of him, and he's walking down the street. He looks at his phone, and there's like a cat video playing, and that's it. You get his card, and this is where it introduces that everyone's gonna go to the place, the gelato place. I don't know what it's called exactly, but the gelato place. He spawns there. He's there, you know. He comes there, and he's the first sprite that's there. After Jimmy T, you unlock 3 new ones. You can do it any other way. I did Mona's first. And Mona, of course, she's committing crimes in her first cutscene. She's late for work and literally committing crimes. She's speeding and then she's attacking the police. I'm just gonna let the cutscene play for you so you understand how actually freaking wild this chunk is. This is one of the wildest things I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have no idea why they were just like, oh yeah, Mona's a criminal, that's for sure. She should indeed have her license revoked. And that is true. Girlie is a criminal. She's being chased down by the police. So she summons these animals to take down the police cars. And the last one that she summons is a monkey. And then that's what starts her Wild Tail mini games. Also, it's the ugliest monkey I've ever seen. I just gotta put that out there. Her mini games, it's hard to explain. A lot of them are based off of, I guess, more normal things like catching toast. Okay, there is one that's weird. I do like this one. If I can find my footage of playing it, it's really funny to me. It's the lady crying and then you have to sniff up her snot. That's a funny one. You also get the generic nose picking one that's like in every single game of Wario. So yes, hers are more normal things, I guess more average person things, because this also has the toothbrushing one, the toast, all of those. So I don't know what to consider hers. I guess hers are more normal. I don't know how else to explain it, but hers are more normal, daily, routine type things. I'm gonna be honest, it took me 80 years to beat Mona's. I'm like really bad at hers for some reason. Her boss stage is after you beat 14 mini games. It's the 15th stage. You have to hammer in a nail. This is also in one of the other games. I just don't remember which one. It sucks. I believe it's either one of the DS ones because they're using like text-to-speech. I just don't remember. Either way, you have to hammer in the nail and it sucks. I'm bad at it. I'll be honest. I did so bad and I'm shocked it took me so long to beat this one. I'm so bad at it. Yet I could probably clear through WarioWare smooth moves. I'm just being honest. I'm just better at the Wii game, it seems. After you beat the mini game, you get a cutscene. She actually arrived at work on time for once in her entire life. She made it on time by like a minute. I'm not gonna lie, I do feel that because I've done that myself. I was late because walking through an entire building to get to the back room is legitimately awful. So anyway, she made it there, and so her sprite now appears next to Joe, I think that's his name, and she didn't get arrested, shockingly, so you know, good for Mona, I guess. So next is 9 Volt. I don't know if I mentioned this, but you unlock 3 after beating freaking Jimmy T's first one. You unlocked 3 of the characters, so you could do any of the 3. I did 9 Volt next, so that's who I'm gonna talk about. 9 Volt's cutscene starts with him coming home from school. His something turns into a hoverboard. I just don't remember the item that it is, but it turns into a hoverboard. He goes home and then he starts like DJing for some reason, which starts his Nintendo / I guess, yes, Nintendo themed video game micro game. So there's a lot of references in here, obviously. So we got some Zelda references. I don't know if we have any Fire Emblem references, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. You have Mario, of course. You have some of the really obscure Nintendo games, like the baseball one. I don't know what that's called. I'm coming back to the baseball one in a minute, but I don't remember what that one's called. And then you have Metroid, I believe. You have all of like a lot of classics. I can't name all of them, but they do have the balloon one. I don't remember the name of the game, but the balloon game that's in almost every single WarioWare game that I had no idea what the freak this game was when I first seen it, but it's in every single game. Once again, you have to beat 15 micro games to get to the final one, and I actually hate this one. This one deserves to burn in the fiery pits. That sounds extreme, but I am an extreme person, so that makes a lot of sense. So Mario's a referee in this. I think that's funny. It's based off of whatever the baseball game from Nintendo is. I'm just gonna put it on the screen because I don't know the actual name. And you have to hit 6 balls to get through of it. Let me just be honest, I suck at this. I'm very bad at it. So it took me a minute, but I did it. It's easier than Mona. Also, I would like to mention, that this is the first appearance of 9-Volt, obviously, and they did not have, what's his name, 18-Volt, which to me, I was like, dang, I'm shocked. They didn't have 18-Volt. That's crazy. After you beat it, you get his next cutscene where he sees that the Game Boy SP is now on sale, and you know, as a little gamer, he has to go ahead and spend up all his money and go buy one. You get his little end game card, and he's now a sprite at the gelato place. Next is Dribble and Spit. Once again, I just know all these characters, so that's why I'm not really talking about them. One day, I'll go in depth about them. But this ain't no good or nostalgic where I need to talk about all the characters. This is just me having a fun video about freaking WarioWare, because I freaking love WarioWare. Anyway, there starts out on a stormy day at their taxi place. First, I don't know how they afford that. That is like a really nice taxi building. That's crazy work. If you don't know who Dribble and Spits are, they're a dog and a cat. I just want to put that out there because you may not know that. Anyway, their little cutscene is just about taxis, and the fun theme for theirs is that they always have a song playing in the background, even if you can't understand it. They go to pick up people, and they pick up a lady who wants to go to the sea, which after they get her, they start the mini game. Theirs is weirdly space themed. Okay, look, I don't know why, but theirs is usually space themed. I have absolutely no idea why. It just is like space and monsters. I don't know. That's just Dribble and Spit. And I did have trouble finishing this one for some reason. I played this one, but I just suck at WarioWare, I'm gonna be honest. I suck at this game specifically. I'm better at the other one. There's a space theme mixed with some of the classic like Wario-based mini games for some reason. I don't know. That's just how it is. Anyway, like the other games, you go until you cannot go no more. You know, you get to the boss battle. Which for them, it's crazy. And let me just tell you, it felt like it was never going to end because you have to beat 23 micro games to get to their boss battle, which was evil. Okay? Genuinely evil. And there's just like this Space Invader little game. So, hoorah for Space Invaders. You have to go beat the little orb thingamajig, and then once you finish that, you get the final cuts. The final cutscene, though, is really funny to me because they take the lady to the sea and then she turns into a mermaid. And once again, they forgot to ask for the fare money. I think that's really funny because this is reflected in, I believe, Smooth Moves. And there's essentially a redo of this, and I think it's really funny that they keep getting duped by mystical creatures. That's really funny. Or aliens. Now their little sprites are at the gelato shop. Next is another Jimmy one where it's just the phone one. It's a repeat of the first one with slightly different mini games. It's more of a combination of the past mini games as well as the sports themed ones, just slightly harder. And once again, this is the Punch-Out one, but with a harder opponent. And he looks like this, and I think it's really funny. I think he's just funky looking, and it's kind of funny to me. Okay, I'm sorry. After the other Jimmy whatever one, because I forgot to mention he has a different color hair in that one, you unlock 3 more sets of micro games, which is Cat and Ann, Cragor, I think that's how you pronounce his name, and Orbulin. You can do it in whatever order you want. I went for Cat and Ann first. Theirs are highly based off of animals and like Japanese stuff. So because I named myself Egad and I legitimately forgot, I said I was a woman. I was Princess Egad, and I got kidnapped by whatever the freak is going on with this. I don't know if it's a demon, something, but that happened. And so which one is it? Which one's the orange hair one? Anne? She Anne? I think she's Anne. I think she's Anne, whichever one. She comes first trying to save you, only to not do well and having to call Cat. I don't freaking remember who's who. Whatever. The other one. The other one comes, and of course, now the mini game, micro games actually start. So like I said, theirs are animal-based and Japanese-based, as well as a random couple of the other mini-games thrown in there. Like, there's a few Wario ones for some reason, and then a few of the other ones also added in there. Oh, not to mention, I did not mention this, but the numbering is actually in Japanese. So, yeah. With my little bit of Japanese knowledge, it's 24. I gotta stop, no. You have to beat 24 of the micro games before you get to the boss battle. I hate the boss battle in this. There's actually a different version of this, I believe, in WarioWare Touch, where you have to use a mic. And I hate it. Like, I genuinely do. This one is awful. That little dude deserves his death. That sounds so crazy, but he does. So you're like this little fly dude who has to jump on clouds and over above something. I don't know. You're just in the sky, I guess. And you gotta get into this little watery thingamajiggity. And then you beat the mini game. Yay, yay, yay. Yeah, great. You get the final cutscene, which which it's freaking possessed for some reason. The princess is possessed. Cat, I believe, destroys the demon creature thing. It saves the day. Isn't that grand? After that, you get their little card, and they show up at the gelato place. Also, if I'm correct, these kids are like toddlers. If not toddlers, they're like 6. They're like actually very young children, and they're out here fighting demons. Okay, you know, go off, I guess. Next up, I did Dr. Craigie? That's not it at all. Craigor. So his cutscene starts in his lab, and he's making some sort of weird liquid and doing whatever this is. I don't know what you want to say this is, but he's doing this. Okay. He drinks one of his weird liquids, and then it instantly destroys his stomach, as you know, you would assume. So he has to run to find a bathroom. Yes, this is the kind of humor that's in WarioWare. And somehow, I'm not one for toilet humor, but for some reason, I'm okay with WarioWare. The world may never know why. But anyway, you do this, he goes to his toilet, and this is how the mini games start, guys. It starts in a toilet, man. A lot of his mini games are, I don't know how to explain them. Some of them are like just strange. I don't know what you want to consider these. There's a lot of food related ones, which I find questionable because, you know, it's a toilet. And then some of them are like just randomized, I guess. I don't know how else to explain his mini games because they're strange. I know one of them is actually called Strange Mini Games, and to be honest, yeah, some of these are very strange. And for him, you have to get to level 15 once again, and then you have to do this. How does one explain this? What, you gotta shoot a laser at asteroids that are coming out of an urn? Sometimes it's a real head scratcher. I can't wait to get into the rest of the WarioWare series because, bro, what is happening in these games? After you beat his dedicated boss battle, which is very, very odd, the toilet explodes, guys. That's grand, and it floods his entire laboratory, which is disgusting. Thanks for that. Surprisingly, he doesn't die in here. You know, I would probably just die from contact of toilet water, and he gets geysered out of his laboratory. Then he gets picked up by a bird and just gets taken to the gelato place, I guess. I don't know. Man, Dr. Craiger's is so freaking weird. Like, trying to explain that to someone, they're gonna think you're on freaking drugs or something. I don't know what to say. But anyway, he gets there, and now his sprite is just floating around. And of course, you get his card. The next character is Orbulin. Orbulin is the alien. I didn't know he was from the first game. I had no idea, but he is. So next we have Mr. Orbulin. He's the white alien guy with the sunglasses who rides around in a pig UFO, which is really funny to me for some reason. Anyway, he gets hit by an asteroid. His ship is about to, I guess, be destroyed. I don't know. I really like his walking animation here. He gets into an elevator thing where he calls for help, and what helps him is these weird rabbits. Okay, so these weird rabbits, I'm not supposed to get too much into anything here, but the weird rabbits are in Rhythm Heaven later, and they send out an elevator for the dude, and you know, then he's supposed to come up, and that's how the minigames start. But these guys are in Rhythm Heaven later, and I think that's hilarious because I had no idea where they came from, but I knew I kept seeing them in WarioWare and in Rhythm Heaven. So, you know, all of his are strange. I don't know how to explain. Man, I'm bad at explaining things. I don't know why I make videos. But anyway, his are also strange. Like, some of them are like, his has a lot to do with counting, math, shapes, and then just some other strange thrown in there. I can't categorize all of these because they're weird. But you know, that's fine. These are his type of minigame. You get like the Game Boy one, the choose a shape one, and all these other ones that are in here. You also get the praise one, which is really funny. His final boss battle after you do 15, which I'm surprised not 28 or something, because that would be nuts. But anyway, after you get to the final minigame, after beating 15 of his minigames, you have to outwit the monster. I love this one so much. Okay, I love this because it's just so funny. You have to choose the correct ways that they're spelt, how it works, and if you lose, it says you got your world rocked, which I would love to use that one day for something. That's just such a funny freaking term. He rocked your dang world, that's for sure. But anyway, after this, you know, you pick the right ones, you win. After that, you get to his final cutscene, which is it's really funny because they see Orbulin in there and then they send him back to his ship because they're just wrong. I don't know why. They just ship him back to his ship and he gets thrown into Earth, making him end up on the doorstep of the gelato place, putting his sprite there, and you get his card. Next is another Jimmy T one. He's red this time. It's the same as all of the other ones. A bunch of the other mini games mixed together into one. I believe it's just the last 3 or all of them. I don't know. Mixed with his original sports ones. After beating 18, which is a rare number, you make it to the boss stage. It's the same one of the last ones, except this guy has more health and he has like a weird visor going on. Same concept. Once you beat him, you get to the ending. You get a Wario message on your phone this time because you're almost there. You're at the final level. And then you get his card, of course. So next is Wario. He's the final boss, guys. It's always Wario. And the cutscene is at WarioWare Inc. He's on his computer messing around with the mini games. And then he throws the computer in the air. It lands on top of him and he's sent into the games. I actually really love the aesthetic of this one, but that's a different topic for later in the video. But this, I just really like it. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know if it's the gingham background, the pixels, it's something about it that's Anyway, this is just Wario minigames again. Some of his original ones are mixed into this, as well as a bunch of new ones, because, well, it's Wario. The one I find funny is the dodge one. Sometimes you get the dodge one, and you're supposed to jump over it, right? But no, it has a question mark on it, so it jumps over you. It's very, very strange and very funny, actually. This is the longest of all of them, because it's the final one. And honestly, it's one of my favorites, because I just like the minigames in here. They're really, really funny to me. Because they're all just different variations of Wario. You even get Game & Wario back in this time. Guys, we should have always known it was going to be Game & Wario, man. We should have always known. After beating 24 of his minigames, you make it to the final one. I struggled with this. I think I'm just bad at games. I love to be like, oh, I'm good at WarioWare. I'm good at reading it. I'm not. Okay, I'm terrible at these games, apparently. Yeah, so watch me self-deprecate. This one, you are Wario, and you're on like a little skateboard, right? You're going through whatever's going on here. You have to duck, you have to dodge, and you have to jump. And then it gets worse. After you get past the skateboard one, you get on a jetpack where you have to go now into the sky and start attacking little orbs, thingamajigs, to get more power. Once you get more power, you make it to the ending of this where you break through the ceiling and then you go through having to go up to this chest, which looks like a green pipe from Mario. And then you have to fight this block with eyes. Very rudimentary. I could draw that. You gotta hit it with a boomerang, and once you beat it, the chest opens and you get a golden poo. Of course you do. But then you gotta run from a boulder. Some very classic WarioWare stuff. You run from the boulder. Also, if you get hit by the boulder, obviously it's instantly game over. But once you run from the boulder, you finish the mini game. And you celebrate. And you get the final cutscene. Wario gets out of the computer. I gotta stop saying computer weird. It's so bad. Wario gets out of the computer with this amazing animation here. He laughs. You get him on the screen, and he finished this game, which brings us to the final cutscene of the game. Wario arrives at the gelato shop, and then, I guess I'm assuming he goes there and he tells everyone about the money that they've made from the game, which that was such a bad idea. They all come being like, give us the money, you're greedy. Oh my gosh, Wario Land is so small. He takes the money and he runs, of course. Wario loves scamming children and using child labor against everyone. There's like maybe 2 adults here. 3 adults in Orbuland. I don't know what's going on with Orbuland, but whatever. He scammed a bunch of kids. He goes up into his Wario-themed elevator because, well, it's Wario. He gets into a rocket and he blasts off. His rocket hits. This is so dumb to explain, man. I'm like the only person on this planet trying to explain the WarioWare first game cutscenes to anyone. Anyway, his ship gets hit by Kraigor, who's still in the sky for some reason.
Oh my god!
Sinking his ship and scattering the money everywhere. All of them watch from a pier as it falls into the ocean. And yeah, that's the end of WarioWare Inc. Mega Micro Games. Then you get the credit, and this tells you all the characters if you didn't know their names for some reason. And that's the end of WarioWare. Dude, I'm laughing so hard at that because it's freaking dumb. Bro, it's so dumb. And then, of course, you unlock the rest of the things that you can do, which are like the easy mode and all those kind of tiny things that you get to do. Now, since I've taken the entire video to explain everything about the game, I want to hit some other random points that I just want to talk about because I do really like this game. Aesthetic. I freaking love the aesthetic of this game. Like, the pixels are so beautiful. So beautiful. Like, if I could make a pixelated game, this is what I would want it to look like. I love how detailed some of the GBA sprites were. Oh my gosh, I love them so much. And I also just love the animation and everything from this game. I love the computer aesthetic. It's so good. God dang it. I love it so much. That's all you need to know. I have no qualms with it. It's beautiful. I love it. And for a WarioWare game, I think this properly shows the 2D nature of Wario as he continued on. Please never turn WarioWare 3D. I will cry. Was this a good starting point for WarioWare? Yes. Hands down, yes. You were introduced to everything WarioWare. Everyone already knows Wario's a greedy sack of potatoes. But then you introduce all the other characters and how strange they are. I think it introduced them perfectly. And I love it. I genuinely do. It's so good. Like, I think it leads perfectly into the next games. Oh, dude, I can't wait to talk about some of the other games. Maybe not Touched. I feel like I don't like Touched very much. I was supposed to use Twisted. I just learned Twisted existed, so. Besides that, I do love this game. I think it's a great starting point for Wario. And honestly, if I was gonna rank this game, I'd give it a freaking 7 out of 10. Is it perfect? No, but it's great. I love it. And I recommend people to play it. And yes, I know this game is probably not available on Nintendo Online. If it is, I'll put it up on the screen, but I don't think so. And the only way that you can play this game is if you have the original GBA version or you bought it on your Wii U long time ago. There's obviously another way you could play this game, but I'm not saying that out loud, but you could play it that way if you ever so please. But I think that you should, if you're interested in WarioWare, you should absolutely play this game. It's actually a lot of fun. Even if it's kind of a little bit irritating, it's still as a bundle of fun. I love this game. I just wanted to make a video talking about this game because I loved it. Could I have done this in a better fashion? Probably. Is every single one of my Wario videos going to be like this? I hope not. But with that much said, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to stay tuned for my next video on how and why horses are actually made out of glue.